On July 25th, another fireball lit up the sky over the Crimean peninsula. Ukrainian drones hit an oil and gas facility near the village of Vnukove. A drone command relay went dark in the same strike. There's no invasion here, no front line crossed, just drones flying at night to find one target and erase it. To the world, it's just another daily headline. But inside the Kremlin, every strike on this peninsula hits a specific nerve. Because Crimea isn't just territory. It's the piece of land that defined Putin's legacy, anchored his navy, and proved to Russians their empire was back. Ukraine is now quietly turning Putin's proudest conquest into his most expensive trap. To understand why Crimea is burning in 2026, look at how easy it was in 2014. When Russian soldiers without insignia seized the parliament in Simferopol, it took weeks, not years, to swallow the entire peninsula. No major battles, no massive casualties. A referendum held, rejected by most of the world, produced a landslide for joining Russia. Putin signed the annexation, built a bridge across the Kerch Strait for roughly $3.7 billion to bind the peninsula to Russia, and declared the case closed forever. For 10 years that held. Crimea became a naval fortress, a tourist destination, and the springboard Russia used to invade the rest of Ukraine in 2022. In 2019, comedian Volodymyr Zelensky ran for president, promising to bring it back. At the time, almost nobody took him seriously. Ukraine cannot retake Crimea with a frontal assault, so instead it's running something slower and more deliberate, a strategic chokehold. Crimea survives on two lifelines: a narrow land corridor through occupied southern Ukraine and the Kerch Bridge itself. Over the past 2 years, Ukraine has methodically cut into both. Sea drones drove the Black Sea Fleet out of Sevastopol harbor and forced it back to Russian ports. The Kerch Bridge has now been struck 3 times, most recently with over 1,000 kilograms of explosives against its underwater supports. In June, special forces destroyed the rail bridge over the North Crimean Canal outright, suspending every passenger train on the peninsula except the line through Kerch. And most weeks now, long-range drones pick off a fuel depot or an air defense relay somewhere on the peninsula, including this week's strike near Vnukove. The result is fuel rationing, rolling blackouts, and a state of emergency with no end date. And that's the real reason this war can't stop. Crimea is written directly into Russia's constitution as home soil. For Putin, surrendering it isn't a diplomatic compromise, it's political suicide. For Ukraine, recognizing the annexation would gut the legal basis for calling this a war of invasion at all. Neither man can yield. Neither man can sign a peace that leaves Crimea in limbo. Everywhere else in this war, both sides are trading exhaustion, missile stockpiles, villages measured in meters. Crimea sits outside that trade entirely. Ukraine can't force Russia to a negotiating table that doesn't exist. So instead, it keeps burning the peninsula, one bridge, one relay, one oil depot at a time, until the crown jewel becomes too heavy for Moscow to hold.